was like, if you ever want to get the dogs together, Max likes to play. She's like, yeah, definitely let me know. It's like, the only day I can't do it is Wednesdays because I play D&D with friends. And I get an answer back that was, what's D&D?
What's D&D?
Yeah.
D&D is this,
Well.
bitches. We're about to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeons and
Hello,
Dragons,
Internet.
motherfucker.
D&D, motherfuckers. Yes, hello, friends. Welcome back. I feel like we don't get to do this very often anymore.
I know.
Because of
Miss you fuckers.
stupid adulting.
It happens.
And real life stuff. Garbage. But it's Wednesday night. And Wednesday night means Wednesday night dice.
Fuck yeah.
So I know we are all excited to start what is that thing that I thought of a couple of weeks ago? Get the resin rolling.
Yes.
That's the weird lame catchphrase that I thought of.
I'm gonna roll
I'm
metal
sticking
dice
to it.
just to be contrary then.
And are now punk.
Good idea. Good idea. Excuse me. Other dice bag is necessary.
Shit, I gotta get my metal dice? Damn, I wasn't ready for that.
You guys, my metal
Wow.
dice are heavy and my shoulders are sore. I think I'm just gonna adhere to the stereotype.
I love metal dice, I really do, but I also like my furniture.
Yeah.
So
I'd like my dice box to, last.
I like my dice tray without cracks in it. Thank you very much.
yeah, right. But yeah, so quick recap. We have made our escape from the Skytown mines. Unfortunately, we have at least temporarily lost the trail of Saorise as she has disappeared somewhere into the city. But we've gotten back to the guild keep and relayed your version of events to Crumrack. Overpronouncing that for no reason in particular.
Some of us may have written down something else that sounds like that, but is not, and is more inappropriate.
Something inappropriate, to be sure. But you've relayed your version of events inside the mines, and as a result, you've been given a few things. First, in addition to the contract that you guys have already taken from
Phoenix
Fireforge. I was trying to remember the guy's name, and I couldn't. But so you have the Phoenix Fireforge job. In addition to that, you now have a contract specifically through the Deep Armory Guild to essentially find Saorise. Good old-fashioned bounty hunt. You currently don't have hardly any information on Saorise, but you do have about a day in town to resupply, check up on any contacts you might already have, and kind of get your affairs in order before you decide exactly what your next steps are. So before we really begin, as always, I would like everyone to roll a D100.
28.
24.
I heard a 28 first. What is currently motivating your character to stay with the party? I think we've already had this question before from somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as Helia's job makes her sort of a Lone Ranger, hi, buddy. For as much as Helia's job requires her to be a lone person, I think she really values the camaraderie that she's found with this group. So the fact that it feels a little bit like found family that she can count on is really what motivates her to stay. And she has other things in her life, but she is not itching to leave the group to get back to them.
Okay. And then from Sam, I heard a 24.
Yep.
Which other player character does your character find themselves having the most in common with?
I don't know. I think she bounces, to be honest. Like there's camaraderie obviously with Zill, considering their shared heritage and life experiences, some life experiences. Um Obviously there's connection with Endeavor, just on their history. Um Honestly, I think
Endeavor's mom.
yeah. Uh I think Helia is the fun one to a point of that kind of tags into that little bit of recklessness. A little bit more. Not that the rest of the group is not necessarily leap before you look, but I think Helia kind of
I'm
digs
sure
that a
Lula
little
and
bit
Helia
more.
have gotten into a few bar brawls together.
Yeah, that I think
I
she
I
kind. I
was
don't know.
just thinking that Helia is absolutely the fun one.
Yeah.
The same way that bar brawls are fun.
Yeah.
Like they're a lot of fun for some people, but to people who that is not fun for, it is very much not fun.
Yeah. So I think it's I think everybody gets a little bit of Lula that is different, and different aspects of Lula. So I don't know if she necessarily gravitates towards one particular person.
Lula
Okay.
totally would have punched that dude at the guild, though.
100% would have, and would have cheered.
Yeah.
There's enough Lou love to go around. Sorry, I had to. I'll see myself
Alright.
out.
Court, go ahead and start rolling up a new character.
Now you mysteriously died overnight.
Rocks fall.
On the house.
Yes. A house falls on you.
Only her striped socks are sticking out.
Yes.
Her
And suddenly the
suspiciously
world is in
sparkly
color.
boots.
But yes, what did the other two of you get?
71.
God, making me scroll now. Describe how your character feels about the party's current situation, objective, etc.
I think conflicted because they really, really want to go see a phoenix. It's that conflict between the thing you want to do and the responsibility to following through on Saoire's seeming betrayal. I don't know if Endeavor feels betrayed. Not, at least not at the moment. She recognizes that other people in the party do, and that's important. But it's that sort of, I know I need to do my homework, but I'd really like to go out with my friends. It's that sort of thing. So right now there's a conflicted, the responsible thing would be to go hand off this job and go pursue Saoirse and see where this leads and everything. But I really, really want to see a phoenix because that sounds really fucking cool.
Okay.
So yeah, right now they're conflicted about where this is all going to go and if they're ever going to be able to go meet their birdie. They do not recognize this is probably an angry bird that's going to eat them. In their mind, it's just this is awesome. This is a bird made of fire. That's fucking cool.
I mean, you pretty much just described a phoenix. Bird made of fire. Yeah. All right. And Zill, what did you get?
52.
52. Ooh. If your character was granted a single use of wish, what would they use it for?
He would use his wish to bring back the person that. So the way he lost his arm was on a mission, and somebody unfortunately died in that mission. And so that's kind of like he's felt guilty about that his entire rest of his life. That all I did was lose an arm. This person lost their life, and so he would probably wish them back.
Okay. Who was this person? Was it like a former partner or?
Yeah, he wasn't a detective because he's not built for that. But yeah, it was like someone who he had like worked the beat cop train with for like a long time. Sometimes they would have different partners because people change contracts and things like that. But they were two people that like often renewed their contract at the same time and worked well together, so they were often just put together like, yeah, you two know the ropes, just like go do your thing. So just someone he knew for a long time and would consider like his work partner in that regard.
Okay. Excellent. So we come to the current events, and we see the party stepping out from Deep Armory Keep in Skytown. What is everybody? What you guys have a day that you had already pretty much budgeted to be on Hake's job still. That job ended early for obvious reasons. So you guys have, I'll say 24 hours to be in town, do what you need to do before you need to make a hard decision to leave and go do the Phoenix Fire job or abandon that contract, because that contract is on a time limit.
So we are on the same day that we returned from Skytown Mines, correct?
Correct.
Okay, we have not taken a rest of any kind.
I think we managed to get like a short rest.
You guys
not
have
taken.
gotten a short rest on the train, but you guys pretty much just booked it back to the Deep Armory Keep. So you guys have not gotten a long rest yet.
Okay, so it's sometime like later, afternoon-ish or whatever.
Yeah.
So we have the rest of today and tomorrow.
I don't know about you guys, but
you need clothes.
We should probably. Oh. Unfortunately, my good armor is no longer viable, and well, while that contract paid decently, I don't have enough gold to get better armor than I'm currently wearing. So, polish the leather and make it look nice. But we should probably stock up on healing potions because I'm not really fancy almost dying again.
How many times have you almost died?
Like this week or generally?
Yes.
I mean, this week you're only at like
2.
Twice almost dying.
Well, twice this week.
We should stock up on healing potions.
Okay.
At least my head didn't fall off like Brutus's. I mean...
Didn't you smack Brutus's head off?
Fall?
Listen, it wasn't on purpose. I was trying to get him to keep from attacking all of you.
Good boy. Is Brutus with us?
Oh yeah, Brutus is absolutely with us.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He's
it's
a good
okay,
boy.
buddy. She didn't mean it.
Yeah.
There's like a dent in the side of his face.
There's a small dimple like, right here that I couldn't get out.
One ear now just folds over permanently.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, what are you guys? So let's take care of. First off, I know that there are a couple of things that you guys need to do. Shopping is one of them. Endeavor and Lula, I know you two have a bunch
have
of
books.
that you wanted
Books.
to read through.
Mm-hmm.
You have Artificer books, because I
Yeah.
think you have both the Artificer books, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Lula, when was your cousin supposed to be finished making that box for the Phoenix thing?
Tomorrow. So I was gonna tomorrow morning. So I was gonna stop by, and see if she was done with it, because that kind of determines if she's not done with it, then that kind of guides us anyway. But if she's done with it, we can take it over to oh my
Aguirre.
god, yes, in the morning, and I can just go do that.
Okay.
I was gonna ask her to keep an eye out or an ear out for any rumblings of anybody in need of supplies when they go when they scamper off out of Skytown.
Hmm.
And never.
You would think somebody has to have seen her.
It's only been a couple hours, so.
Yeah, but
that.
The
merchants, they know everything. They see everything.
I mean, did she have supplies? All the supplies were with us.
Yeah.
Like camping, yeah,
Justin,
except for what she normally carry.
Would I be able to put out word amongst my spy colleagues and friends to check the back channels for any rumblings of her / wherever she might be?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Not great. 12.
Okay. I'll say throughout the course of the rest of the afternoon, you put out the feelers to a couple of your personal contacts separate of what the rest of the group is doing. And people know that you're looking for Saoirse.
And with that, she would also make sure to start dropping notes on basically not what exactly Saoirse did, but the level of cowardice and abandonment that she showed. Because, well, they talked about ruining her, and Helia is 100% set on fucking her over the same way she did to them.
Okay. Zilni, is there anything specifically that you are doing with the rest of the afternoon?
Buying so many more bullets because he feels naked, but other than that, nothing in particular.
Okay. Then let's we'll spin through shopping real quick. I will say where is the thing that I'm looking for? I'll say 10 rounds is a gold piece. They're pretty specialized. It's not like bullets are a specially crafted item. It is not something that you can just make in bulk the same way that you can like make arrows or finding rocks on the ground for a sling. So however much money you have, you know your guy for ammunition. So however much money you have or ammunition you need, it's 10 rounds per gold.
Okay.
Did we divvy out the 100 gold we got?
We did.
Okay.
Yeah, we each
Just
have 25.
Okay. That's it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the contract paid out 100 gold total, split among you is 25 apiece.
Just making sure, because I
Um,
didn't see anything in party funds, so I couldn't remember if we had split it up or I just forgot.
Yeah, because we all needed stuff, we had decided to split this one instead of put it in party funds.
And then here it is. Roads. You are looking around bits and bobs for anything else that catches your eye, and you do see behind the counter is a like rack of healing potions. There are 5 potions total. It's a full rack. But those healing potions are marked 50 gold apiece.
Well,
What? I'll ask. I can't remember his name, but I will ask. What's the strength of those healing potions?
They're standard.
well, I guess we're sticking to prayer for the time being.
Which is totally useful because of how much religion we have going on in the group.
So much. All of the
Um,
Jeebus.
Well, I mean, we can pool funds together and get one as like the emergency backup.
The emergency potion?
The emergency,
Yeah.
I'm out of spell slots potion, yeah.
For the
What's a spell
emergency, I'm a
slot?
giant. In the emergency, I'm a giant bear that can't do things like somatic components.
Kills me that there are 2 of you that do not use spell slots at all in this game. Wild to me. That Wednesday night dice, half the party does not have spell slots.
And unlike Cat, I
Yeah.
don't even have like racials for
Yeah,
spells.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't have
Like,
racial.
You guys don't even
nothing.
have that tab on your character sheet.
No.
Nope.
It freaks.
It
I thought my
exists.
character
Wild.
sheet was broken the one time I did that. I was like, "Where's the? It's missing something. Like there's space."
Or it's fun when you play like an Asmar and you get light. And so it's the tab, and then it's just the one spell at the bottom by itself.
mhm.
Nope.
Listen,
That's your clap on, clap off.
I
Yep.
feel a little naked not being an Asimar, I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
You just like tap your chest periodically and nothing happens. I think it's broken.
My blinker's broken.
But yeah, I think having a backup healing potion would be very helpful given the recent situation.
The recent
Yeah, I'll
unpleasantness.
definitely contribute. You know,
How many bullets does Bits and Bobs actually have on hand? Like, what's the maximum number we can get to?
That's also a way to avoid needing a healing potion, is just lots of bullets.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
really,
If I kill it first, I'll be fine.
or if you're really bad, in really, really bad shape, that is a very significant alternative.
Yeah.
Still may just send me.
Dude, I can't bring you back. That's bad.
I will.
Dustin's like, son of a bitch. This is supposed to be an
Mother-
easy shopping trip.
I'm sorry. I just want to know. Like, I got 34 gold. That could be a lot of bullets.
That's a lot of
but-
bullets.
You can get 4. There's one like ammo box, like an old green tin World War II ammo box. It's got 40 rounds. 40.
Okay.
So like 4
Thank
gold.
you. Yeah. 4 gold.
You shouldn't need ammo for a little bit.
I don't know. I ran out of ammo during the never-ending onslaught of bullshit. So now he's like, "Oh God."
Starts hoarding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It unlocks
Can you
the hoarder
Can Lula
tendencies.
Lula, can you make one of those things that just like makes its own ammo?
All of a sudden, Brutus is going to be pooping bullets now.
I'm just saying. Is there like a thing? Can you like make a magic gun?
I mean, I have a
Maybe.
magic gun.
A more
one that
magic
had it-
gun. Magic
but one with
bullets.
like
That doesn't need ammo?
Or that the ammo is like magic?
what if you made a
Maybe.
gun that shoots spells? Can
I
you do
think we call
Is
that a
thing?
wand.
Will the slots be on the gun? How does that work? What
Yeah,
is
you
that?
have to
You're
take them off
watching
as you
like her
shoot.
eyes start to like kind of glaze over as like she immediately disassociates and you just lose her and like all of the opportunities of trying to build something like this and like all of the questions and she's gone.
Oh,
She's
God,
just
I
like,
shouldn't have
Helena,
brought it
shut up, shut up, shut up.
I shouldn't
Stop
have brought
talking.
it up. But I'm just saying, I think that would be very useful.
See what I can do.
I don't-
Alright.
I don't know if that's a thing a thing you can do, or if that's a thing that can be done.
Maybe.
Can you make it cool noise? Like pew pew
What was that again? One more time.
pew.
There it is.
Okay,
that.
clip
Just
that.
give us a
Do
I
we
did-
want to, if we want to do
See
healing
it on TikTok
potion?
tomorrow.
Yep, you will.
I'll toss
Healing
in
potion.
15 gold for it if anybody
We
else
have-
wants to.
We have 35 in the party fund.
I can. Why don't we'll keep some party fund money.
Do you want to do half?
Well, I don't need a whole lot of things,
Me
so
either.
I'll toss in half. I'll toss in 25. Since Les
Well,
knows
no.
that I'm probably gonna
Yeah, but you have
See
to
the
buy
one that
armor
potion
at some
gets you.
point.
at some point, but I don't have enough to buy armor right now.
But if
so-
you spend all your money now, you'll never have enough money to buy armor.
but if we get more money,
You gotta
I'm
spend money to make
I'm happy
money.
to check in.
You hear
I can check in
Markham is
15.
just leaning over the counter, like listening to you guys have this conversation.
I can check in 15.
well, if we're all gonna pitch in, it's like
Yeah.
12 and a half or something for each of us, because it's 50 gold for one potion.
We could each do 10 and then do 10 from party fund.
There we go. That works.
Sure,
Yeah.
there we go.
Make the math easy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
There. All right. So we'll get one of those for, the inevitable.
Tina's like, the
Uh,
mathing.
Hallie should
The inevitable
probably just
quest.
hold on to it.
What
Someone
are you
who,
trying
yeah,
to say?
someone,
Or maybe
anyone who's
somebody
not
that can
me.
dump it down my throat.
anyone who's not me, because that's my concern, is that I may not be able to do the dumping or the healing.
I guess I could dump if you want.
I can
Clip
That's
that.
a choice. I can keep it in my inventory. It's just you said a standard potion of healing, Dustin.
Yeah.
Let's make sure to
Um,
have it clearly labeled. An
Which
arrow pointing
is-
down.
For reference, that is 2d4 plus 2.
In my equipment.
All right.
One more thing.
Yeah.
You said bullets were 1 gold?
1
For-
gold per 10 rounds.
Lila's gonna buy a gold for
Okay.
Is she gonna try to make Brutus into a machine gun?
No, but she's gonna try and fuck with some bullets.
Wait, does that mean I only bought 30 if you only had 40 in total?
Oh, did he only
Yeah,
have
he
40 in
only-
total?
He only
Oh,
had
then
40.
I don't want to take 40. I don't want to take 10 from you. You don't
Didn't
need it.
Zil get bullets from Lula's aunt last time? Can't you buy some from there too?
Yeah, I'll probably just pick up some from her then, if they have it.
I mean, how many do you need for your testing?
I don't know, like 3 for now.
Depends on how well it goes.
Just hands you 3 and is like, I expect this to multiply.
And she'll take it and she'll pocket them. It may not be now. I have
Okay, but like, you know
ideas.
those old school machine guns that they like crank? I'm literally picturing her
With
like
his
cranking
tail.
Brutus's tail, being like, "Trrrr."
That's adorable.
There you go.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
could you make my arm a gun?
Oh my god.
dude,
Maybe.
Like a rifle gun, or
or like a massive.
can you like
cannon.
sight
A
down
rocket
your
launcher?
arm?
No, it's out of the finger.
Just pew pew pew.
Maybe.
Pew, pew.
Only one finger, I think, though. Unless you want to chop off another finger
See what I
and
can
replace
do.
it with a gun.
No,
Which
no,
one?
no.
If
Yeah,
you have the
just-
choice, which one?
Well, no, you you turn each finger into a barrel so that you can decide either pistol damage or shotgun damage.
Oh shit. Bird shot.
That's a future project, Dustin.
Okay. Write it down, because I'll forget.
I am writing down all of the sudden. She's like gone, lost
Flashes
in
of
daydream.
Yeah.
Thought.
Is there anything else that you guys are shopping for?
I think, let's see,
Nope.
that's good.
I now feel clothed, so I'm good.
Okay. Then we will fast forward a little bit. I know Endeavor and Lula were wanting to take a look at those books.
Yes.
Don't we need to stop by the Hammer's Clamor?
I think
Is that the
tomorrow.
correct one?
I was gonna do it tomorrow morning.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is still like the evening that you guys got back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think tomorrow we'll stop by there and we can maybe look for more bullets.
Yeah,
And
she's a little expensive though.
Yeah, she
don't
doesn't
get a
even
family
get family
discount?
discounts.
Ooh.
Sounds like I think she's
Do you
more
get a
the type
family
to
markup?
mark up, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. That's more like it.
But yes,
Okay.
I think Endeavor was planning on popping open Le Books once they returned home for the evening or were returned wherever they were going to settle for the evening, presumably their homes.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing.
Especially since we did not get very good sleep down there.
Nope. Helia is going to stop in the Tieflings and grab some tea and a couple pastries, and then just go upstairs and sleep.
Okay. While you guys are all doing this, I need Lula and Endeavor to make investigation. Lula, investigation or arcana. Endeavor, investigation or religion.
Okay.
Oh no, that's just
Mm-hmm. Investigation or religion.
Did you just get a natty one?
Natty 20.
Me too.
Yeah.
I have officially stolen Dustin's mojo.
Oh.
We've swapped curses.
Yeah.
It's nice to kind of
That right there is how a relationship works.
Yep.
Balance.
Sam, I hope that you don't lose it before Sunday.
Yeah, me too.
So for mine was 25.
27.
Investigation.
Tina.
Oh.
I am direct messaging you on Discord.
Okay.
Read this silently to yourself while while we go to Sam, and then I will have you read this to the group.
Okay.
Sam,
Yes.
you said you had gotten a nat 20 as well.
Yeah.
What would that have gotten you? What would that have netted you for Arcana?
27.
Okay. Would investigation have been any better?
27. It's a +7
Okay.
for both of them.
For both. All right. You start looking through a couple of these books, and those books were that had the Art of Influencing with Artifice, Expert Techniques for Persuasion, Artifice Uncovered, Insights and Strategies for Success.
Some like business books.
They do sound like business books. Artificial Intelligence does not know what a Dungeons and Dragons artificer is. So you start thumbing through these two books. and they are lots of they read like almost like school textbooks or like self-help books for being an artificer. A lot of the stuff that you are able to understand, it is all written in like very old dialects of Dwarven. So you can't even read all of it, but you're able to piece together a lot. Um, Among the things that you get, um, if you do not already know the friends cantrip, I'm pretty sure artificers have access to friends, correct?
Maybe.
Let me double check. Regardless, if you do not already know the friends cantrip, you learn it.
Sweet.
There should be a way, even if it's not normally on your spell list, there should be a way for you to cheat that in D&D Beyond.
I'll figure it out.
In addition to that, you come away with 5 spell scrolls. The first one is Detect Magic.
Okay.
The second is Cure Wounds.
Cool.
Then we have a Disguise Self. False Life. And the last scroll you get is Sanctuary.
Nice.
You're pretty familiar with all 5 of these. They are already on your spell list. But you now also have scrolls that you can either distribute to other members of the party or essentially get a free casting of those without needing to prepare or use a spell slot.
Great. Awesome.
So you spend the next couple of hours poring over these books. You're putting these scrolls together out of these like academic like textbook readings and whatnot. And while that is happening, I assume you guys are all like still together. Court, you had said that you go to the tea shop.
Yeah.
Right?
We
Is
can all
that
go
where
to the tea shop.
you are all headed? Or do you...
That was the plan, even though I was literally at my house. All right. That's cool.
A nice cup of tea before bed.
Sure.
I mean,
a nice.
yeah.
It could be
Some
a
Irish.
nice cup
chamomile.
of tea on the other side of town, sorry.
Some whiskey. I mean,
Yeah, he definitely is gonna spike it. He walks in and he's like, "So this coffee, it's Irish? Irish."
Some Irish tea, yes.
Endeavor, you start, looking through the other couple of books
yes.
that you were given. Again, all of this stuff is written in very, very old dialects of Dwarven. There's a fair amount of it that you just simply can't read. The books themselves are not in great condition. They are starting to deteriorate despite having been in that, like, preserved building for, reasons unknown. But there is one passage in one of those books that stands out to you. If you would like to read that passage to the group.
Yeah. And I think as Endeavor is reading and going through this sort of very broken ancient dialect of Dwarvish, and kind of struggling with like, okay, like, you're missing something here because you got like some articles and you got a verb, but the rest of the sentence just isn't there. It's missing pages. And I guess at some point we'll come to a relatively intact page and kind of start
Mhm.
parsing it, and has a fairly complete passage, and Suna looks up and is like, well, this is interesting. Listen.
Oh, and one more thing before you begin.
Yeah.
This passage is found specifically in the book entitled Inevitable Armageddon.
Oh,
I was just
great.
gonna say, this
Cool.
comes from
Right.
this one comes from one of the two Apocalypse books, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I guess my question to you before I read, do I recognize the name referenced in here? Is that something that is known today, or is that an unfamiliar individual?
Um, Go ahead and read the
Yeah.
passage and then ask that question again more specifically.
Okay. And then so Endeavor will kind of point it out and kind of lay it down. Be like, listen, guys, this is interesting. Kind of scary, but very interesting. And it says, "Rise, Bennu, firstborn of the sun, chart your course across the sky, bringing light, warmth, and life to the world. But lo, as these things come to the world, so too are fire, destruction, and death laid upon the earth. For 5,000 years, the seasons and tides take their cue from the one who banishes the darkness and brings an end to the night in favor of day. But as the sun rises, it must also set. For if we are to yearn for summer, there must also be the cold and dark of winter. This is the balance. This is the harmony that binds the beasts and trees and gods alike to their purpose. The day of change approaches. The sun will set, and in its absence, a long, cold winter will come. It will be a sign of endings. Rains of ice will fall upon the shores and mountains and forests of the land, and cover that which it has not covered in this season or the last. The quaking of the earth will drive away the mountains, and in their place new rivers erupt and carve new paths to the sea. A lion, dethroned by time and the enterprise of ants, shall be the cry of wounded pride, powerless to halt the coming storm. The night will be long and cold and dark. The world will be as if covered by a blanket of ash, and from these ashes, life burns anew. Guided by those of strong body, mind, and soul, Bennu will rise again to bring light, warmth, and life back to the world."
The passage does continue,
Mm.
um, but the rest of that page is unfortunately not in a state where it is still legible.
Yeah, it degrades after that. Do I recognize the name Bennu? Is that
I was gonna say, do we recognize any of the things in that?
Um, Go ahead and roll history checks, anyone who is interested.
That's when we lost music.
Where is my
Should be
dice?
back.
The stream paused.
That's not my dice.
Hmm.
That's a D12. That's not good. History.
Here we go.
You guys can hear it again.
Yeah.
17 for history.
15 for history.
13.
Okay. Sam, you said you got a 17.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else get above 15?
I got a 15.
Yeah, I got a 15 as well.
Okay. Then the three of you do recognize the name Bennu. It is a Um, it is a religious name. Um, the it is the name of a Bennu is a demigod,
Mm.
firstborn of
Mm.
the god of light. He is a god of light and life
Mm.
and the sun, commonly associated with the sun. Um, but Bennu is like a almost like a Hercules type
Okay.
character. Um, Having that kind of like a demigod status.
Is Bennu someone that is still worshipped or is tied into like whatever religious sect would be the sect associated with the god of the life and light today?
Um, Bennu isn't really worshipped as much. Revered
Okay.
would be a better term for it.
Okay.
But yes, is actively highly praised within that sect of the pantheon.
Um,
Sill's just drinking his decaf coffee with whiskey in it and doesn't understand why you guys give a crap. It's like, fucking sounds like mumbo jumbo.
Mm.
given what we know about Bennu and which of the deities he's associated with,
Mhm.
is there a temple in Skytown that would be dedicated to that deity? That perhaps would know more about what, I mean, this seems like some sort of prophecy of sorts.
Yeah, there isn't a temple specifically dedicated to the sun god, who I realized that I did not name. But he
It's just the
definitely,
sun,
yeah,
capital
the
S.
sun, yeah, sun lowercase S-O and capital Sun S-U. It's very confusing.
Mhm.
Um, but
Okay.
so there's no like there's no temple specifically dedicated to the god of the sun or Bennu, but there is Forge Master Temple, um, and it would be like, I mean, clerics are clerics. Someone there is bound to have some kind of knowledge.
Oh, well, we may have to go see a gear tomorrow anyway. We could
Yeah, if the
always,
crucible's done anyway.
so we could always bring that over and also bring this if it's, I don't know, I feel like if it's something important to their, well, to someone's religion, it might be good for them to have.
Yeah.
Somewhat
Sure.
ominous. Do we have a lot of ominous prophecy type things going on, or is that uncommon in most religions that are active today? Or is there that one religion that's just basically constantly preaching about the end of the
The end is
world?
nigh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we have the guy on the corner with the megaphone?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Make a religion check.
Uh, 7.
7. You are not particularly familiar with
No.
any other doomsday prophecies.
Yeah, no.
Um,
I mean, it sounds very cyclical, sounds very nature. I mean, it's not
um,
totally
I mean,
bad.
do
It
you
doesn't.
think
It doesn't say the whole world's going to be wiped out. It just says everything's going to be covered in ash and be really terrible for an extended period of time, and then it gets nice again.
I mean, do you think that Hake was looking for something to do with this down there?
I don't think.
No.
I don't think
he
Hake knew what he was looking for. I think Hake just knew that a hole was opened into something old. And then it turned out that the people who made the something old also opened a hole into something really bad.
Potentially on purpose.
Or
Potentially
I
an
mean,
accident.
or maybe they didn't make it at all. Maybe it's just a hole that opened.
Endeavor, go ahead and make a raw wisdom check.
Wisdom. Okay. I can do that one.
To say you should do that.
I can do that one. 22.
22.
Yeah.
There is something specific that drew you that was already kind of like in the forefront of your mind when you found this passage.
Mm-hmm.
And you think back on it quickly, and there's a lot in that passage that is light, heat, warmth, fire, ash, rebirth.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
What does
Yeah.
that describe?
Yeah. Phoenix.
Yeah. So that is kind of what drew you to that passage.
Probably more
maybe
more of the
subconsciously.
rebirth from the ash is the big thing.
Mhm.
I mean, we've heard of creatures that can do that are, I guess, effectively immortal.
You suppose fire giants do that?
I don't think fire giants are reborn. They might be born, but not reborn in the same way that phoenixes are. I mean, phoenixes are, as far as I'm aware, eternal. They just sometimes...
Burst into flames and become small again?
Well, not really small so much as burst into flames and become a pile of ash and then emerge. You know, circle of life.
Indeed.
You blinking, you step into the sun.
From the day we arrived on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Dorza.
Ooh.
No, I think
as
the
they
question... Yeah.
Dorza, as they deliver another round of drinks, kind of like chimes into that conversation. Oh yeah, the phoenix just explodes into a pile of ash and just becomes a baby again.
Adorable.
I think it would be very adorable.
Did you make this one a double? Thanks.
Is no one else excited by the prospect of a phoenix?
Oh, I'm very
Not
excited.
Oh, I'm very excited.
But
I'm less than excited, I'll be honest. It's a big firebird who's going to try to burn us up to a crisp.
Well, not if we
Okay.
bring the right offering.
Yes, exactly. We just have to bring it an appropriate offering.
should probably figure that out tomorrow too.
We
Yeah.
should. We should definitely do that.
I suppose I would just not like to continue to up our quota of how many times we've almost died within the same few week period, you know? That's all. I'm getting too old for this.
But
I
we
mean,
both-
maybe I'm looking to set a new record.
We did buy that healing potion.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
just one.
So, I mean, maybe Bennu is a phoenix. Maybe we just have to go there and call him by his name.
To name the phoenix.
Yeah, and if it's incorrect, they'll probably kill us very quickly.
If it's correct, he might kill us.
Bring him one of those like name necklaces.
Yes.
Like a big one. Big.
All right. So
Some diamonds.
you,
Though if the phoenix, yeah, I don't know. What if the phoenix goes away and then becomes ash and then the world sucks and we just like plunge it into like a, dark hellscape?
It's not already a dark hellscape?
Not right now. I mean, the sun definitely is still rising. I don't think there is the ash falling from the sky or the ice. That all sounds very bad. So
All right. So the four of you kind of
Yeah.
continue this conversation well into the evening, um, before getting your game plan for the morning
Yes.
together, and go your separate ways. Helia and
Mhm.
Endeavor have a short walk upstairs.
Mhm.
Uh, Lula and Zill, unfortunately, have a long walk across town.
Nah.
The night air will be good. Yeah, I think Endeavor will collect all of the books, bring them upstairs, and copy down the passage too, because I'm a little concerned about the quality and integrity of this book and
Mhm.
don't want it to fall to pieces. So I'm going to copy down what I can before moving to the corridor and just like going into stasis.
Okay. Um, Lula and Zilni. As night, like we are full night at this point, and as you traverse the dark streets, the major roads are still pretty well lit. I mean, street lights are a thing in on most of the major throughways. But uh, as you traverse the city, on your way home, both of you go ahead and give me a perception check.
9.
8 for me, and good job, buddy. 23 for Brutus. Somebody's
One,
paying
two,
attention.
three.
Good boy.
Um, you guys are. The two of you are a little better than halfway home. You're just passing the Dragonsteel Forge and Sharper Visage Tower. I will actually highlight those on the map. Um, but the two of you are coming around that complex, and Brutus just off down like a side street, um, towards actually towards the docks, um, like a side street alley in that direction. Brutus just turns and just starts barking and going ape.
Brutus. Shh. What's wrong?
Um, Brutus kind of looks back at you and just starts barking again into the darkness.
I grab my pistol. Um, and just kind of start slowly heading that. Like, I'm not going to get too far away, but I'm just going to take a couple steps in that direction to see if I can start noticing anything.
Okay. Make another perception check, this time with advantage.
I'm going to roll
I'll pull
you.
my
You were a jerk
axe.
before. 22.
22. You see a um not quite, not in the same alley where Brutus is looking down, but off to the side, like darting across the main street, you see a tall, dark cloaked figure run across the street between alleys.
Is there anything about the figure that seems familiar and like the way they like their gait or the way they carry themselves or anything?
Make an insight check.
13?
At first glance, you think it might be Saorise, but you realize that that the gate doesn't seem quite right.
Mm-mm.
See anything?
Someone running past. And I'll kind of look at Brutus to try to like essentially like follow his eyes. Like was he tracking that movement, or is his eyes still like very zeroed in and focused on something else like further down or to a different direction?
Brutus is looking down down the alley where that figure had come from. So like if that alley had gone down and then turned like around a corner building, that is where the figure would have come from. At this point, Brutus is just like pacing and walking in circles, clearly agitated.
Do you want to check or just drag him home?
Let's see if someone's following us.
All right. How are you determining with perception, survival?
I figure if we just start, if we walk kind of slow, like nonchalantly back in the same direction we were going, see if we're being followed.
Okay.
Turn the corner and go in a circle if they're still following you.
Yeah, kind of the usual, like,
Make
are
a
we
series
being
of,
tailed?
like 4 left.
Mhm.
Okay. Then yeah, I mean, there's not far from where you guys are. You start making your 5 left turns. Go ahead and roll a perception check, both of you.
Jesus fuck.
Ooh.
6.
Brutus got a 7, but I got a dirty 20.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Miss Jackson.
It does not appear that you're being followed.
Okay.
Did Brutus calm down once we got like away from that alley?
After a minute or so passes and you start moving away from that alley, Brutus does calm down considerably. He's back to his just kind of normal self.
What usually sets him off, Lula?
Could be anything. Somebody. Normally it's when people get too close. I don't know if he recognized the person or just didn't like their vibe. I don't know. But if they're not following us, then they're gone. Just keep an eye out, keep our doors locked.
All right. Well, sleep with your axes.
I would say ditto, but I know you sleep with your guns, so.
Yeah, where else would you put them?
I mean, Helios has
Gun.
no problem with this. She sleeps with her sword under her pillow.
Yeah.
I know Lula doesn't use a battle axe, but now I'm just envisioning Lula like spooning with a giant battle axe. It's as big as she is.
It's one of those really big wrenches. That's
Yes.
like, okay,
She like
normally...
has she like
Like,
sharpened
an
the
enormous-
like outer
yeah.
curve of it?
Yeah, like, it's one of those, like,
an enormous
really
pipe
big...
wrench.
It's a giant pipe wrench, yeah. That,
You
to
under-
her, it's her size. 100%.
You realize that Endeavor, because these are the people that Endeavor hangs with,
Just
Endeavor
thinks it's
has
normal.
thinks that everybody sleeps with weapons under
Mm-hmm.
their pillow because everyone that Endeavor knows has done that. Like, this is what humans do. this is what the fleshy people do. They sleep with the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're
Like,
fleshy.
'Cause they're
So
fleshy.
you gotta protect yourself.
At some point, they don't have the metal on the outside, so they have to sleep with it under the pillow.
Yeah.
Totally logical.
At some point, they're gonna be like, "Wait, what do you mean? Where's your weapons?"
All right. So Lula and Zilny, you both make it home. Retire to your respective homes, and everyone gets a long rest.
Yes. Yay.
Hey, excuse me. The next morning comes, the sun rises, and you all awake. It is a new day.
Mm-hmm.
What is the plan for this morning?
Lula's gonna go to my brain just stopped.
The Hammer's Clamor.
Yeah. Can you put them on the map at some point, Dustin?
What?
Hammer's Clamor. Oh, it is
Yes.
on the map. I just didn't see
It's
it.
in like the center of town, just south of Forge Master Temple.
Yeah.
Ham Clam.
Lula will end up going there.
No, it's Clamor's Hammer is not on the map.
That's I can't.
It's the one next to the Rusty Spear.
Yes.
I think Helia will check in with some of her folks that she's that she dropped some info to about Saoirse, knowing that some of them are very nocturnal, wondering just to see if they've heard any whispers so far, but also knowing that she just wants to check in before they potentially leave again.
Okay. God damn.
Hmm.
So, Helia, you're gonna do that. I know, Lula, you're gonna head to Hammer's Clamor. Endeavor and Zilny, is there anything in particular that the two of you are doing this morning?
We're Hammer's Clamor first, and then Forge Master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
I think Helia will probably tell Endeavor that she'll meet up with them after, because shady dealings in a group is not so shady dealings.
After
Well,
everything,
have fun.
or are you meeting us at one of the locations?
At one of the locations, she'll, if there's any way that
No.
somebody can get a message to her, otherwise
Nope.
she'll just check.
Nope.
Retreat.
We don't have
You could
that.
send bird messages.
I suppose I could do that today.
I mean,
take
you
what you
can
want.
also just meet everyone at Forge Master Temple.
I mean, that is
You
where
know
we'll end
that-
up, I guess, at the
yeah.
end of the day.
Or she'll say, I'll meet you at the mutton chop.
Yeah, I mean, I guess come to the Forge Master Temple, and if we're not there, they'll be able to let you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if, the world ends before
Because
then...
she's avoiding the ham claim.
Yeah, if the world ends before then, I'm sure you'll find us.
All right.
Or parts of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna gather up I'll gather up my stuff, make sure I have the books and my sort of transcription of stuff, and as a sort of just in case, I'm gonna, as I mentioned, that Endeavor has a habit of trying to recycle things and turn them into new things. Like, it's probably like, I don't know, like, oh, we found some kind of broken ceramic, so it tries to put them back together and make them into a pot or something. or yeah, trying to is big fan of the reduce, reuse, recycle. um,
Ain't
I
nothing wrong
want.
with that.
Would we assume that potentially they may have been able to repurpose something that could be potentially worth 25 gold?
Wait, say that again.
I want to with something that has been sort of, repurposed and recycled and put together over time. Um, would it be sufficient for the components for a divination, which has to be something worth 25 gold? That's a sacrificial offering to a god.
And this is something that like Lula has in their possession, or
Endeavor.
Something that I would have just made. It's Forge Master. I feel like you have to create something, or craft something, or make something, as opposed to go out and just go buy a bunch of diamonds. Like, that's useless.
do you have any tool proficiencies?
I have smith tools and herbalism.
I will say that you don't really have anything already crafted on hand, but with sufficient time, you can go to the Forge Master Temple and use their equipment,
Use their stuff
to craft an offering.
And
Okay,
that's perfectly fine.
That.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Just in case we need to ask somebody, directly about things.
Yeah, I will say that you have raw materials to craft something, but it would need to be crafted.
Yeah, and I'd probably need some guidance. All right, then I'm going to head off to go meet Lula over at the Hammer's Clamor.
Okay. And so you arrive. You walk through the doors, and it's not early morning. It is definitely after normal start of business. But you do not immediately see Elza, but you do see your aunt Odatra is currently conversing with someone, presumably a customer or patron.
I will wait patiently, but look for the crucible / box that I commissioned.
Okay. Go ahead. What's your passive investigation?
17.
17. You definitely see it. It does appear to be finished. But it is also like in Elza's like workshop area. So you don't want to like, not being Elza or an employee of this shop, you probably think that it's maybe not a great idea to just go over there and grab it.
I mean,
What's
the distance
unless you, unless you do want to do that. I don't want to tell you how to live your life.
Does Odatra see us? Probably at this point.
Oh
She
yeah,
look up?
she.
Alright.
You make eye contact with her the moment you walk through the door.
I was really hoping to get in and out. I have Mage Hand today.
Okay.
But
God.
alas, we've been spotted.
There's nothing worse than when you make eye contact with the person you don't want to make eye contact with.
No.
Oh my god.
Like, I was just... okay. Yep, I will just wait patiently.
Okay.
What does patient look like for Lula?
A lot of, like, tapping and, like...
trying really hard to
to
just
sit
not
still.
move,
Don't
but
punch
then not being
anything.
very good at it. So
Her
you
hands
just-
go in her pockets. She then, like, she starts messing with Brutus, like, trying to fix his ear, and, like, he becomes a giant fidget toy. Yeah.
The you overhear a bit of the conversation that Odatra is having with this person, and this person is commissioning a a collection of matching suits of armor.
Mm.
And their business concludes, and Odatra just then looks at you and your companions and says, "Yes."
Is Elsa around this morning? She has a project for me.
Does she now? And what project was that?
What did we say? Was it a box or was it a crucible? I guess.
I
I'll
think
say
it was a box
a
called.
box. Did it say? Was it something particular? It was like a box or a crucible, right?
Did I write down what it was actually?
I recall the discussion of a box that can obviously hold Phoenix Fire. Whether lead lined, I do not
It was
know.
discussed as some sort of container for Phoenix Fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I think we had
Yeah,
determined something with something
With a lid.
that could with a lid,
A
so that if it
thermos.
rained, yeah, a fire thermos.
A fire thermos. I'm imagining us walking through with a freaking Stanley.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't drink out of that one.
Nope.
Whatever. Keeps ice for a long time.
Odatra just gives you just this cold, neutral, almost glare, and just kind of huffs and leaves out the back door towards where you know the main forge is. After a moment or two goes by, and Odatra re-enters with Elsa in tow. And Elsa immediately says, "Hi, how are you?" Just being uncharacteristically professional.
Yeah.
And she's clearly got her retail voice on. And just goes over to her workstation, grabs the container that you had already spotted, and gives you a basic description. This is a box. Lid opens like this. Here's the clasp. So you should be able to take this to get enchanted, but all of the rune work is already inlaid. It will just need to be activated. And I see that you've already put in your payment, and I would like you to make a deception check with advantage.
Oh, thank God. 18.
18.
The other was gonna equated to a big wink.
But yeah, Elsa says, and I see the order's already been paid for. So here is the box. Here is your receipt. And I will thank you for coming in. We hope to see you again. And then Elsa just kind of looks at her mother. Gives that side-eye glance.
Yeah, I can absolutely hear Max.
Was that Max?
Mm-hmm.
Is he dreaming?
He's dreaming.
Now I can't stop hearing it.
I'll mute. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, don't.
It's
It's the cutest part of the whole night.
He's twitching his paws. He always when he does that, his paws are going like this.
Yeah. He's chasing dream buns.
Ace
Probably
did
dreams.
that for about
Um,
30 seconds last weekend. Like, I caught him
Yeah.
doing it just a little bit. And it was adorable.
So you all leave and essentially just head up the street to Forge Master Temple.
Yeah.
There you find it is a busy day. Where you find a gear. He is difficult to miss, but you also see Trallin working one of the other forges.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We originally came here to ask about him, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And you have
I mean,
now
so
come
far he
to
seems
his
on the
home
up
and
and up.
place of business.
Yeah, but now we know
Honestly, at
him.
this point, I'd believe Sersha was causing the discord over him.
That cunt.
So you all enter, and Trallin is doing stuff, looks up from his work, and recognizes you and greets you with a, "Oh, hello. How are you all doing?"
Better.
Good. Better is not a very high bar, but I'm glad to hear it. Um, what brings you here? What can we do for you?
We're actually here for a gear. He's supposed to be enchanting something for us.
Huh. Um, yes, and he kind of looks over at Gear, has his back to you, hammering on something with a forge hammer that is probably the size of all four of you put together.
Mm.
Um, you're having to like speak around his hammer blows because the hammer blows damn near shake the whole room. Um, but Trallin gets Agir's attention and says, "Agir, you have visitors, customers, maybe both. Um,
In the tone of, you know these idiots?
you know these people." Um, and Agir quenches the steel that he was working, and comes over to you. Yes, you were looking to have a crucible enchanted, correct?
I hold it up by the handle. The runes are all set for you. We just need the magic.
Excellent. This looks. And he inspects it for a minute, and says, "This looks like it came from Hammer's Clamor. They do good work."
That was my cousin.
Your cousin. And he sets to work. While a gear is um, applying the magic and attuning the magic to the crucible, um, Trallin approaches you again and just says, I do want to thank you all again for what you did in the mines. I'm still trying to come to terms with exactly what happened, but if not for the four of you plus Janora, I'm sure none of us would have made it out alive, save for Stersha.
That's what we were there for.
Well, I'm glad you were all the same. Um, did you have any opportunity to go through any of those books yet?
Well, yes, not in full. They're not in great condition. understandably. But actually, and kind of looks over to where Gear's doing things. Um, since we have a little bit of time, there was was one larger passage that was reasonably intact, and I'll pull out my kind of copy of it instead of yoinking out the book itself, possibly
Okay.
fracturing it. And one day I'm going to pull it out of the bag and it's just going to disintegrate. uh, and I'll just pull that, but I'll pull out my copy of it and kind of hand that over and ask, are you familiar with any of this? Is this something you have come across in your studies? He does God things. He does religion things.
Yeah, Trellin reads the passage, and he kind of like reads it to himself, like half out loud. And he says, yeah, I do recognize this. This is it. It's similar to a passage out of actually give me 1 minute. And he hands back the paper, and he darts off out of the room, like deeper into the temple. And after a minute or two, he comes back with a large book. And he starts flipping through it, and he's kind of mumbling to himself, I know it's in here somewhere. And he's flipping. And he gets to a certain page, he spins the books around and hands it to you. And you read this this more complete story about Bennu, son of the sun. And it is part of the larger, like, creation myth. Similar to the fact that this creation myth and the event of the as much as I don't want to say it like this, the like winter is coming kind of vibe and apocalypse-ness. Yes. Yeah. It is on par with the fact that many actual religions, like, everybody has a flood myth. There
It's
is
like fifth sun, like Mayan stuff, where basically you have kind of a more cyclical.
Yes, it is a cyclical creation myth. It revolves around essentially, like, everybody has a flood myth. There, at some point in the far ancient past, in real life, there was a flood. So there is some, like, factual scientific backing to serve as like a factual point where this myth branches off from.
So you would see similar discussion in the various creation myths. They might not be all the same. They might not even have the same deities involved, but it's all kind of goes back to
common
thread of basically there's this thing and it rises and it falls, and when it falls everything goes dark and it's bad, but eventually it comes back.
Yeah.
Are we in the we've come back and we're rising, or are we in the part of it?
Well, the passage that you read in Trallin's book is a little bit more complete and is a little bit more it's less flowery language. and it gives a better description and backstory of who Bennu is. Bennu is commonly referred to as the son of the sun or the firstborn of the sun. Other translations say that Bennu is the first ray of sunlight at dawn, kind of leading the way and tracing the sun's path across the sky. But common depictions of Bennu are of a phoenix. And in this particular telling that Trallin has, it is a much more literal interpretation that Bennu, essentially boiling down to Bennu is a phoenix. Bennu dies as a phoenix would, and a period of darkness and
happens.
ash, and the world kind of ends for a little bit. But then
But it's cool, guys, don't even worry.
But Bennu is reborn from the ashes to restart the cycle and trace that first path of the sun.
Now I'm having thoughts. I told you guys. We just have to address him by his name.
Maybe give him that book, that passage.
I think it'd be fair to give the entire book. Books, they burn. I'll try and copy as much of it as possible.
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it to burn the books? I guess if it's a book about you, it's okay. You're allowed to burn your own book.
But Endeavor, well, I'm not there. Never mind. Just kidding.
You could be there now.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
would've- you said you were
at
gonna-
this point,
Yeah.
at this point, hell yeah,
You would have reconnected with
will
us.
have reconnected and
She was just gonna say, but Endeavor, think of yourself as a living record.
That's true. That's true. I can try and commit it all to memory before I give the book. I don't know if my memory banks are that large. Are my memory banks that large? She looks to Lula. It's like, oh god, what did I even put in there?
Do I need
Tina
a
looks
solid
to
state for
Sam.
you?
Sam looks to
256
me.
meg. This is 256 hard drive.
You just hear that really obnoxious AOL online sound.
Yeah, dial up. Endeavor's working on dial up. I gotta upgrade. Solid state.
No,
yeah,
we
it
have...
does not. I don't know. Sure. Yeah. It's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I will try to commit it to memory. So Bennu is someone in all religions. Or something
Bennu,
like Bennu.
Yes, there is an entity that in all major religions, the essentially like the religion of dwarves, humans, and elves are all kind of the same-ish religion. They are all essentially sects of like the same pantheon, but attribute a different member of that pantheon to be chief among the gods.
Okay.
So it would be like
That's fair.
they are the same in the way that like Christianity and Judaism are very similar with essentially just minor tweaks. And also in the way that the dwarves worship, let's just say for simplicity's sake, the dwarves worship Zeus as chief among gods, the elves worship Poseidon, chief among gods.
Fair. So Trallin. Oh, this is actually very helpful. So this is I guess, a very old iteration of the creation myth, which I guess it kind of lends support to the place we were as being maybe some form of religious keep or temple. We were trying to figure out what that building was.
In I don't remember seeing, Trallin says, I don't remember seeing anything down there that would specifically link that building to this myth. But thinking back on it, it's possible that that settlement could have predated the most recent Ragnarok.
So, in your faith, there was a prior destructive event from which everything was born again and slowly has built up and built and built and presumably will eventually go over the top of the hill and start coming down, and then there will be another large event of some kind, and the light will go out for a period of time.
Yes.
The temple goes dark, is, you know.
Put very simply,
the forge goes
yes.
cold for a bit.
Yeah.
How do you know when? Are there signs?
It's an allegory for the seasons.
Are there signs? You know, trees lose their leaves in the fall. They start to change color.
Trallin actually directs you back to the passage that you had given him, specifically.
The rain of ice.
Rains of ice will fall upon the shores and mountains and forests of the land and cover that which is not covered, that which it has not covered in this season or the last. It's
gonna get cold, is what we're saying.
You know, the quaking of the earth will drive away the mountains, and in their place, new rivers erupt and carve new paths to the sea. Could be another sign.
Okay.
For as many people who have read these passages and signs, there is an equal number of different interpretations.
But
I mean, that just sounds like climate change to me. But
I was just gonna say, this sounds like. Well, actually, I guess yes. You do have the cold portions of climate change too. The cold, the excessive cold snaps. But so this sounds like there would be some sort of. I wonder if you're right, and that the folks down there, in that city, town, keep, whatever it was, maybe we're entering a dark phase, or at least we're in the years leading up to one. It would explain why an entire city is locked inside of a mountain range. I mean, if the mountains rose and rivers fell and ash covered everything, entire civilizations could be underneath the ground.
Yeah, the Trallin starts essentially listing off possible interpretations of some of these.
Yeah.
Ash could refer to volcanic eruptions.
Pew pew.
You
down
know,
to the earth. The asteroids. Do we have asteroids? We probably have asteroids.
Yes, there. Asteroids and shooting stars and that sort of thing are all things. But you know, the passage about the lion dethroned by time and the enterprise of ants could be referring to a literal lion. It could be referring to a ruler, a specific king. or
A political structure being
Uh,
undermined from within.
undermined by the ants, the peasants, the people.
The small. By discontent amongst the ranks.
So yeah, there, like I said, 100 different interpretations for every reading.
No.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the story and myth of Bennu as an actual figure, they're commonly interpreted as and or take the form of a phoenix.
Are there any other phoenixes, or is Bennu the only phoenix?
Bennu is referred to as the Phoenix, capital T. um, but um, I don't know if that means that Bennu is the only Phoenix, or that could just be a title, or Bennu could just be chief among phoenixes.
Is it phoenixes or phoenixi?
I think it might be, or is
I
it
think
just
it
Phoenix?
might just be Phoenix.
Huh. This is as much as Zoe can contribute to this religious conversation.
Yeah, at
He's
some
zoned
point,
out at one
I'm
point.
just saying.
At one
You
point,
guys
I
Lula
just came
kinda
back to be like,
wandered away.
Lula wandered. Did Lula wander away to like where the forge is?
Oh,
Still
she's
thinking
watching a
about the.
deer.
Still
Like, for
thinking
sure.
about how she can make magic guns and bullets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I feel like that would be. Forge Master would probably really like it. Wow.
Or he really wouldn't.
I mean, crafting things that have fire, that seems like right up his alley.
It is.
Oh man, if
It is also worth noting that even though this is the Forge Master's temple, in this area, the Forge Master is not regarded as chief among gods. So, like, in this part of the world, like, you still have, like, Zeus is the king of Olympus, but, like, there are also temples to the other gods.
Yeah.
The Forge Master is just one of them.
They just like this one more.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of fits it.
I mean, they're just pragmatic.
I don't know, this one seems pretty cool.
Trellin says, "Oh, well, I'm glad you think so." I agree.
Yes. Wow. I feel like I wonder if the other books are all the same. I'll have to keep reading them.
But yeah. Sam, you are watching a gear
Yeah.
do these enchantments. Are you trying to assist? Are you striking up a conversation about magic bullets, or?
No, I think she would, knowing a craftsman at their work, and knowing she doesn't like being interrupted, I think she would just kind of be just silently watching and observing.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Not too bad, 16.
16.
Yeah.
I would like you to also make either an athletics or acrobatics check.
That's not nice.
Just roll the dice.
Oh, no, 10.
10, that's
Acrobatics.
enough. You are trying to watch a gear work, and about 10 seconds into you watching, you realize that even if you stood on Brutus, you would still not be tall enough to see over the table.
Oh.
So you take a minute or two to like stack a bunch of boxes on top of each other,
Mm-hmm.
and you like make a couple of like box and crate towers to get up onto a gear's chair, and then you can stand on the chair and watch a gear work, and you do so silently.
Yep.
You see a lot of it's a lot of low level spells, but cast many times at high levels. It's a lot of like um abjuration type stuff, a lot of like absorb elements, fire shield, a lot of that sort of thing is just being cast over and over and over into this crucible. Um, and after about 20 minutes or half hour or so, the conversation with Trallin is starting to wind down, and a gear turns to you and hands back this. The runes are all glowing with a. It's like a pale orange and amber light. And the box, while it doesn't burn you, it is warm to the touch.
Say, very nice work.
And Agir says, Trallin has told me about the dangers that you have all faced over the last few days. Allow this to act as payment for bringing Trallin back to the temple. And no additional payment is required.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, small one. Is there anything else the temple can be of service to you with?
I'll look at everyone else. I think I'm okay.
Just as soon get out of your way.
Okay. Then Trallin and Agir both look to your group, and Trallin says, "Well, then we won't keep you. Uh, just know that if there is anything else that you need in the future, you will always have friends here." And Egir just kind of like stands up straight, kind of gives you a small for him but enormous in comparison to you head nod, and goes back to the project that he had been working on when you walked in.
As we're walking out, I'm just gonna whisper to the rest of the group. So, do you think Akira ever leaves his building? Because, like, where would he go? We would have heard him walking around town, right? He would have shook the whole town. These are the thoughts that were going through his mind as he zoned out before.
Is
Maybe
the
he
door?
thought
Is the
may-
front door big enough for here?
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he only goes out at night when
Maybe,
the city's
maybe he
quiet.
shrinks himself down.
Can giants do that?
Feels like that defeats the point of being a giant.
Unless you shrink yourself down so people think you're small and then you turn into a giant to scare them.
Well, yeah, but there's limitations to what I can do on that.
True.
All right. So I will say it is just before lunchtime at this point.
So, are we going to this Phoenix Fire job? Did my contacts yield anything, Dustin?
Make a. Just roll me a d20.
15.
15. You do get a couple of reports back. One person saw a figure that matched their description. Kind of at the south end of the city, and someone else. There appeared to have been a sighting near the main gate to Korsavabru.
And those are in vastly different areas, so she seems to be possibly on the move.
What's in the south end of the city?
The south corner of the city is the Skytown docks,
Okay.
Gilded Society and Sunguard Estate, and the Deep Armory Keep.
Okay.
Do we know if
main
she
points
has
of
an access
interest.
pass to Korsavabru, like based on her position?
Yeah, I think we had talked about that last time, that she had... It was pretty well known that she could go between pretty easily, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to me she might be putting some plans in place to make herself disappear.
You guys do also know that part of the contract that you guys have with the Deep Armory, the new Sersha job, does stipulate that Crumrack has guild agents out, like, canvassing the city.
And there's like a
So-
tip line being set up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, near the docks kind of makes sense. Kind of corroborates what we saw last night, so.
What did you see last night?
What did you
Uh,
see last night?
Brutus kind of, lost his crap on the way home. And I saw someone, hood up, cloaked figure running down an alley. Similar build, but the gait and the movements looked different, so I didn't pursue. I mean, she's hardly the only elf in this town.
Mm.
We could go check back with Crumrack before we... And
Yeah.
get some food at Guildhall.
Yeah, that would be good. Also, make sure if we're gonna... Well, if we're going to take... I could do either of these jobs. We'll want to let them know.
Well, I suppose we have to decide on the Phoenix job in short order, don't we?
Today.
Yeah, and that's not too far. That's not too far from the docks either. So, if we need to head there, we can head there.
Yeah, I mean, the keep is, like, just inside the main gate leading out of Skytown. So if you guys are leaving the city, you're passing the keep anyway.
Do we think Saorise would have at some point returned back to the keep for anything?
Probably not.
I mean, do we even know where did she live?
I doubt she stayed at the keep very often.
No.
She was well known enough to get good paying contracts. I'm sure she had some other place she stayed.
If not inside the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should pay her home a little visit if the keep can tell us where she lives.
I'm sure they already have.
I think when we asked, they said that they didn't know.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about that.
Yeah,
You did.
like they don't have an HR record that has our home address on it. Is what I'm
It's
getting
like
the
it's
vibe
really
of.
outdated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we don't really care where you live. Like, just pay your dues.
Yeah.
But, like, what if you
Where
were
are they
there?
going to send our W-2s to?
This civilization is civilized, and so they actually do your taxes for you. Because they
Oh.
already know what you owe.
Also, we're contractors, so it wouldn't be W-2s.
Oh god, you have to get a 1099.
1099s.
Oh god, oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess
Back
we
to
can
the
stop
guild?
by.
Check in.
Back to the guild, check in with the guild, see if there's anything that came in overnight, even though it seems like a long shot, right?
Never
It's only
know.
been-
And then we can talk about our next step.
Yeah.
As much as I want to find her and kick her ass, this other job is a bit of a timeline and guaranteed to be, well, fruitful? It's not just,
Is it?
well, there's a
Yes.
potential to getting to the actual goal, whereas this bounty is going to be a bit of, she could be anywhere.
Yeah, and if we
Yeah.
don't have a direction,
This-
I feel like heading into Corsava Brew without actual confirmation that she's in there might lead to difficulty down the line. I don't know. We have these passports, but I feel like they're just going to judgmental eyes the whole way down.
Right. I mean, that's all fair, but the statistical odds of us dying are a lot less in
Are
this Sorsha
they?
job.
Are they though? Didn't Sersha just lock us in a ancient ruin with a bunch of demons pouring into it?
That wasn't her skill set. That was our skill set to even set that trap up.
Let's go see what they know.
We'll see what.
All right.
To the guild.
So you all return to the Deep Armory.
Yeah.
There you know where Crumrack's office is. So you head straight there. You find him working in his office. Just kind of like going through reports and paperwork and all of the great things that a barbarian of his stature is just. Mwah. And he looks up from his desk and says, "Oh, have you found anything yet? I'm really hoping you found anything yet. By the looks on your faces, you didn't find anything yet."
Well, I've had some friends keeping eyes and ears out, and they've seen her towards the south end. There's been a sighting by the docks and one at the entrance to Corsava Brew.
Yeah. We've already gotten a few reports. None of them can really be confirmed or otherwise corroborated if it's actually her. But there have been a few all over the city, but most of them have been either near the docks or the gates or just inside the gates of Corsava Brew. I do have the only solid bit that we have so far. I had some people talking around to her, some other, known acquaintances, and we did get what we think is a reliable residential address. So I've got a couple of rangers sitting on that property. So if she goes back to it for any reason, we'll know.
Any chance you would want to pass that information to us to see if we might be able to find anything inside?
Yeah. He he flips through a bunch of the papers on his desk, and then scrolls the address on a scrap of parchment and hands it to you.
Hmm. These sightings, do they have different times associated with them? Like, are all the sightings near the docks, I don't know, in the afternoon, say, and then near the gates later in the evening?
Um,
Or does it?
there's not really any pattern
Mm,
to any of the sightings that we've been able to piece together so far. However, there have been a few reports that we've been able to discount because you can't be in two places at once.
okay.
You can't be seen outside the gates and at the Hummingwell Theater at the same time.
Oh,
No.
So, um, but yeah, I mean, you have that address uh, if you want to, stake it out yourself. Like I said, I've already got agents sitting on it, so if anything happens, we will know about it, and of course, I'll send for you if we have any solid leads on where she is or where she's going.
you previously pointed me towards the Phoenix Fire job, which we did take.
Mm-hmm.
This is important, however, so we'll be needing to make a decision in the next day or so whether we need to pass that job along. We do have the tools to complete it, but it is going to take us some time, obviously.
Um, well, we certainly have the manpower to do recon and gathering information. And unfortunately, Sersha was very good at her job, so she wants to disappear. Um, there's not a ton anybody can really do about it until she either makes a mistake or resurfaces in another fashion. So, honestly, unless you have a solid lead of where to go right now, we're kind of just playing the waiting game.
I
Might be
mean, we
best to let
certainly
it.
have the capacity to pursue after the fact should we get a lead on her, but Phoenix Fire job is quite important as well.
Might be best to let the heat die down a little. Maybe she'll let down her guard at some point
Also true.
I would
if
tend
she
to
doesn't get
agree.
on a ship.
Well, perhaps we go collect the Phoenix Fire and then let the attention die down off of her for a moment and see if she makes any mistakes.
But we could stop at her address on the way.
Well, yes,
Is the address in Skytown?
The address is in Skytown. Um, However, it is north of Moonlight Row, so um, it is in a wealthier part of the city. It is like, can I ping? It's in this neighborhood up here.
And which way is the Phoenix?
it's in the mountains
The
above, isn't it?
the forge is in
No, I know
like
where.
right in the southern
Yeah,
edge.
but like, which way were we supposed to leave?
There is only one gate out of the city, and it is in the south,
Okay.
kind of where you guys already are.
Well, Sam is Lula. It's your middle name,
It
obviously.
happens. Add
Lula
another one.
is your Is your cousin coming with us?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, what was the
No,
She
we already
seemed-
talked her out of it.
No,
Well,
we
we
talked
talked
her
her
out
out
of
of the
coming to the
mines.
mines with us.
Oh, yeah. I thought we had talked her out of the Phoenix job.
No, she
I
seemed quite
know.
excited about the Phoenix job.
I mean, or I could task her with keeping an eye out for Saorise for us.
If she finds her, maybe put her in a box till we get back.
I mean,
Not joking.
yeah.
I mean, I guess
More
it
eyes
depends
here.
on how much you think your aunt will kill you.
Oh. Well, considering she almost didn't want to give me the crucible.
She's a bit of a twat.
Well. No, I say Elsa should stay. We should go. I can swing by there just to ask her to keep an eye out, keep her ear to the ground, and we make some money.
I think that's for the best. What about you, Lot? Looking at Endeavor and Zil.
That works for me, but I mean, Elsa is very young, but still grown adult. She's got to learn to spread her wings at some point. And
mean,
if she's gonna go out and potentially adventure, I'd rather we be watching out for her than she does something crazy on her own. That's all. Doesn't have to be today. Just my advice for the future.
I mean, if you all are cool with her coming along, I can certainly ask her.
I mean, I think an extra set of hands is always helpful, especially resourceful ones.
Alright, then I'll ask her.
Are we going to be smuggling your cousin out of the city?
Probably.
Okay.
Well, Brutus doesn't have anything in the tank at the moment, does he?
Come here, let my dog eat you.
Yeah, just crawl into
It's only
his stomach.
temporary.
Yeah, it's fine.
You've
She's
done
dog
that
of
before,
holding.
haven't you? You guys have done that before, haven't you?
Oh,
at some
oh
point?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
He's the dog of holding. It's fine.
Dog of holding.
Good.
It's so good.
Do we know how long this trip will take? To go to the Spice Mountain?
If I remember correctly, I said round trip 4 to 8 days, or 8 to 10 days.
Okay.
And if I didn't say that before, I said that now.
That's what it is now.
Okay, so 8 to 10 days. That's a decent amount of time for things to settle and for maybe the guild and your contacts, Helia, to get some more information for us.
Indeed.
And if something emergent happens, they have ways of getting in touch.
Yeah.
Dustin, how do we... I know you said there's like messenger pigeons, essentially. How does one use a messenger pigeon? Are there just like little stations throughout the city where it's like, hire a pigeon, and I can then like put a message on its leg and be like, find this person, like it's an owl in Harry Potter?
So kind of. They are they don't use real pigeons, like live pigeons. It is all like, I don't remember what the actual name of the spell is, but
Is it like Galder's Speedy Courier?
No, the spell is literally called like Paper Crane or something like that.
Paper bird.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But
Instead
of but they're essentially like almost like mall kiosks set up, or like semi-permanent storefronts, stationed around town that it is just a person, usually a wizard, and you pay them to essentially cast sending. And you write your message on a scrap of paper, and the attendant, um, casts some magic on it, folds it into a paper bird or a paper airplane, and off it goes. Is more or less how it works.
So,
I can
but
send
you have to
messages
tell
with
it where
animals.
it is? Yeah, like I'm just wondering, like, is that a good way to track people? Like, do you have to say go to this address and deliver this, or do they magically find whoever they're supposed to send the message to?
So I will say two things, and I am just going to think that you know this because as a cop,
Mm.
this is just something that you would know. This is something that would have come up in your career. Um, a sending spell, you just have to like know the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similar premise. There is a range, max range on these paper bird plane things. But if you can accurately identify the person, they are usually reliable. However, part of the enchantment on these is divination based. So if you are somehow shut off from
Mm.
or immune to divination or scrying, then it won't work.
I mean,
Okay.
that is a thought, though.
Yeah, I mean, like if it's not super expensive, like I could try.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the other thing would
Would we be
be
able to scry on Saoirse? Does anybody
no,
have that capability?
not
No.
at this
No.
time, no.
That's why I want to hire that guy to do it. Is he like points at the closest kiosk?
I mean, I can send a bird or something. I could send a bird. I can ask a god in a couple different ways.
Oh yeah, you didn't. You guys were at the Forge Master Temple. You didn't actually craft that offering. Is that
No,
something that you wanted to do still?
um, do it honestly, only if we're really gonna need it because I don't even I will have to like take some time to do some stuff with it. So
I mean, you
I
can
can ask it.
craft the offering and then sit on it.
True, I can craft an offering. Um, I can ask a god. Uh, Really the only god that I know. I only know one.
The Forge Master?
But
I
what?
will.
Yeah, I mean, that's basic. I can ask a god. It would be more useful though if we had a bit more information because it's more of a if we go underground to Kurosawa Brew, are we on the right track to finding Saoirse or something like that, as opposed to hey, where's this thing?
I think that was it Zill or Lula that said it that
Sending a bird.
giving her some time to get a little too comfortable,
Mm.
she might make a mistake.
We could do both too. We could also give her some time and then especially if one would assume someone wanting to disappear would put in place certain protections, things to enable them to pass without being tracked. At
I
least
know I certainly
temporarily.
would.
If right? If you try to sneak through the city or out of the city, you don't necessarily want everybody and their mom hunting you down. And she had to have
Sure.
known. She had to have known that the minute if we didn't die, that
The
I
minute
mean
we
maybe
got
she
back, she was gonna be turned
yeah.
in.
I mean maybe she assumed we died. And finding we didn't, she panicked and ran.
It's probably the only reason anybody saw her, whether it was at the gates or
Mm.
at the Docks.
But I think that type of magic, things to hide things, would have limits. Unless, I mean, she's not a magic user, right? That we know of.
I don't know.
I mean, she
I don't know
may
what
I don't
she
think
is.
so.
she may have resources, but they're not unlimited, especially if she's on the run. So even if she is maybe now protected or looks like someone else or isn't showing up on the radar, she might down the line once all of that fades away and she needs to, I don't know, make a supply run.
Mm-hmm.
But even some of the simplest things can make it difficult, and Helia will kind of stomp her feet. Like,
Mm.
I can use my own boots to make it appear as if my tracks aren't my own.
Mm.
Dustin, how much does it cost to send one of those paper birds?
Where is it?
Because Zilla's thinking, look, even if she does have some sort of magical protection to prevent her from being scryed upon, trying this out and her not being found
Mm-hmm.
tells them yes or no to that question. So at the very least, if she hasn't found something, like if she never had that ability and she hasn't been able to activate that yet, they can find her in time before she has time to get more resources, or they have an answer.
That she's not going to be trackable by those means for
By those
least.
means. Yeah. I feel like this is a thing he's like done
He's
as
probably-
a beat cop, that he was like, I'm trying to find this guy. And so like there's probably
Yeah.
one of these wizards that's like,
Like,
hey,
smoke somebody out.
Zill, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He,
use it to
he,
smoke
like,
somebody
he
out.
sent a phishing email basically.
Mm-hmm.
Click this here link.
He wrote some like weird, like, hey, big boy, meet me here, XOXO, and it's actually just Zill sitting there with a gun.
I'm uncomfortable.
I feel like that would be a viable option though. Like if they, especially if you had people embedded, like you would want to, you kind of just follow the whatever that is sent.
Yep. And that's how you get the low level guys. It's not how you get the high level guys.
No, because they're in the place. They're in the
but-
place with all the shit.
Yeah. But you get the low levels that way. You bring them in, and then you let the detectives flip them.
Yeah.
I will say that sending a message like that, will cost you 4 gold pieces per message.
That's an expensive message. Jeez. Fuck it. Yeah, he'll as they're presumably walking in some direction.
Yeah.
Once they find the next kiosk, messenger kiosk, he will stop by and give the required information. Looking for social. What's her last name? Night River. Got a message to send.
Okay. Yeah, he gives you a just a scrap of, not a scrap, but a small sheet of parchment, and a quill to write your message. You can write whatever you want as long as it's confined to that single sheet of paper.
The message, or all he writes is, "No man left behind." Just folds it up, hands it over.
Super good.
Okay. The attendant begins casting the spell on this parchment. And as he does so, he is asking you questions about Sersha. You know, first and foremost, what is the person's name, or what is the location of the destination of this message? How do you know this person? That sort of thing. And after about a minute, the parchment folds up into a very intricate, like sparrow looking bird. And just as if a real bird was sitting on the desk, it pops up, like turns its head around, um, does a little like shake, and flaps its wings and flies away exactly as a real bird would.
Ooh, which direction does it go?
Yeah.
It goes a D8 direction, where 1 is north. It initially flies southeast.
East. Should I follow it?
I think we should. If you can follow faster, that would be great.
Oh wait, I can't fly. Yeah. Damn it, still level
Oh, you
7.
can't yet?
Nope, level 7.
Can't you polymorph yourself?
I can if I
Did
want
you
to
end up
get.
taking that?
Do I have polymorph prep today? I think I did. Did I?
If you polymorph yourself, you just are that creature.
I know, and I get real
Wild
dumb
shape
too.
is different
Get
than
real dumb.
polymorph.
Yeah, I
Not-
get
yeah.
real.
But if
I
you
mean,
polymorph
can I?
yourself into like a high intelligence creature, you should be fine.
You would think that. Okay. So yes, I can change into a thing. However, the caveat is that I might get really distracted by some fish along the way.
Mm.
That probably not the best bet.
But we
so
can keep
one
an
more-
eye out, and if need be, yeah, I mean, I can do I can do
At
a.
this point, I would like everyone. Actually, I would like Zilny, Helia, and Lula only to make perception checks.
Oh, wonderful.
Endeavor,
That's a
you are
whole
you are
six.
distracted by trying to decide what you want to wild shape and or polymorph
Yeah.
yourself into.
16.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Okay.
27 total.
Helia, you are able to watch as this little tiny bird starts flying away.
Let's follow it.
Sorry.
Good.
Just
Like-
clarifying question. So if it would not have, if she wasn't scryable, would the spell have not even worked? Like the bird wouldn't have formed, it just wouldn't have happened? Or like that's what I'm trying to determine if I know.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay, that's gonna work well.
Can I follow the bird for a little bit? Like, would I be able to keep an eye on it long enough to follow it in whatever direction it's going to try to?
Make an athletics check.
Yeah,
I
if you-
guess I
if you-
know, because that's a natural 20. 21.
Hey.
Well, I rolled a
Um,
9. You said athletics? 8.
If the target is immune to scrying, or if some other condition would cause this, like a sending spell, to fail, the bird would, the casting of this spell, this like paper bird spell, would still happen, but the bird would not know where to go. Or it would just fail to arrive at the intended destination. So the fact that the bird has been created so far is not enough information to say, oh, it
Yeah.
it failed or it succeeded. If it actually goes somewhere, then it goes somewhere.
Can you point me in the direction, Elia?
Yeah.
I'll
And she'll
polymorph
point
into a
to
giant
the-
eagle.
She'll point
God.
to the direction, like exactly like the direction and trajectory that the bird took off.
Okay.
If I'm a large beast, can I pick up somebody and carry them?
You're polymorphing?
I'm polymorphing, yeah.
Okay.
So I will have
you-
I will have full eagle stats.
Justin's like, what the fuck just happened?
Nope. I know exactly what's going on.
Really, system?
So-
Why are you telling me that right the fuck now?
Wait, couldn't we have just sent Lula's little bird thingy?
I can't track it.
Unless they can only Oh, can't track it. Okay.
No, it's not like a familiar where I can
Also,
like look
didn't-
through it and whatever. It just kind of it does
Didn't
the
your
touch spells.
homunculus get destroyed?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I managed to get that one back.
Oh, that's right. You
Oh, okay,
revived
okay.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was. Just
I was like,
this
I know I
particular
fucked
glitch.
Brutus over, but I thought that the homunculus got destroyed by the.
No, Bug managed
Um,
to get through the horde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Tina, you
Yeah,
are a giant eagle.
I am a giant eagle.
Because you are a large creature,
Yes.
and I will say you will be able to pick up and carry one of your small companions.
You just hear squawk. Which
Okay.
flap.
I will
If Zell doesn't
also
immediately jump on
say
it, I'll go.
You have
Um,
experience writing things. That sounded weird. I
That
That makes her
apologize.
sound like a hussy.
you are going to be limited to half speed if you take a passenger.
Oh,
I mean, it'd be 40 feet instead of 80.
oh. It's up to you. If you don't care,
I'm not small, so it's either Lula or Zill.
I'll go.
Helia, you're able to track where this bird is headed,
Mhm.
but you are not able to keep pace with it,
Yeah.
and it is flying away. I need Helia to make another perception check and another athletics check while all of the rest of this is going on.
I will go.
Perception is 9.
Okay.
Athletics is 14.
Okay. You
That should
get
have
off to
gone
a
very different.
very rough start. Like the paper bird takes off, and you take off to follow, and just you turn and run right into a lamppost.
Oh.
So that slows you down. By the time you're able to regain your footing and actually take off in that direction, you know the direction it was heading, but you have lost sight of it. At this point, Endeavor, you are now an actual giant eagle, with like blood and feathers and shit.
Mhm.
As opposed to wild shaping, where you become a
Oh yeah,
clockwork
yeah. Okay,
version.
okay. I got you now. I was like, and
Blood and feathers and everything.
I'm like, eat
You
it.
have
I'm like,
hard speeds.
I can
you-
taste.
You become a giant eagle. You pick up Lula. You just like
Yeah.
grab
Mhm.
Lula like by the arms with your talons, and you just take off.
Yep.
I need Endeavor as the giant eagle and Lula. Lula specifically, not Brutus, to make
Yeah.
perception checks.
Brutus stays with
Okay.
Zill.
Tina, you will have advantage because giant eagles have keen senses.
Yes. And I rolled this. I rolled two 17s, so 24.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, you did.
11.
Okay. Lula, you are not able to pick this little paper bird out of the sky.
Yeah.
But Endeavor, you are able to spot this bird. Endeavor, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Athletics is going to be a 15, 16, 17.
17. Okay. I mean, you're still at half speed, but you're at least like mostly keeping pace.
Mhm.
And after a minute or two, I need both of you to make another perception check.
Miss Jackson.
Oh, nice. What is 6 and an 18? So 25.
25. Okay. After about 2 minutes, you realize that it's big, but you're going in a circle.
Okay. I think we'll continue to follow it until if it goes back down to return to sender, basically.
Mm-hmm. You continue following this bird in circles for another like 5 minutes, and it's essentially just circling the block. It's not actually going anywhere.
It's is it circling like the whole city, kind of like wide circle around the city, or is it circling a specific area?
It is circling the block where you guys are.
Okay.
Where you guys had started.
Okay.
So you haven't really gone anywhere.
Okay.
Is that where they saw the weird figure last night, or was that a different area?
Different area.
Okay.
You guys are essentially like right outside
The Deep Armory.
the Deep Armory Keep.
Okay.
You guys are, if you direct your attention to the Skytown map,
Mm-hmm.
you guys are essentially like right here. You're like this intersection. The person that Lula and Zilni had seen was like up here, closer
Okay.
to Sharper Visage Tower.
Okay.
Yeah, after like the third or fourth lap,
Mm.
I'll kind of tap on the birdie leg.
Let me down, let me down, let me down.
No, no.
Too fast, too fast.
Too fast.
But yeah, it would appear that something is preventing the bird from knowing where to go.
Okay. I'll take a nice slow arc down. I have like an hour. I think I have an hour for
Two.
this.
As we're waiting, Zill's just gonna look at Helly and say, "How do we get Endeavor back to normal?"
You could shoot him.
That feels wrong. But if it's necessary.
Well, I mean, they'll change back eventually, but if you want to do it now, you could always. Just saying.
You left the stabby shooty people together.
I know.
They're like, we don't know how to problem
No.
solve this other than with weapons.
Is this how you guys?
I mean,
okay. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is how we felt when when Thurston and Arthea would go off and nerd. This is exactly Cad and Faraday, like hardcore. Like, I don't know. I just stab things. I don't know. I just hit things.
and then Dermot would just be in the background. I'm just glad everybody's having fun.
Here's a
And
song.
Helly's like, I don't know, stabbing things usually works for me.
I mean, to be fair, they're not wrong.
I mean, when all you have is a hammer, everything's a nail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm a nice bird. This one isn't super dumb or anything.
True. So yeah.
Yeah,
on land.
8 intelligence, and you can understand Common and Orin, but can't speak.
Yeah.
And tell you the land.
I have higher charisma as a bird than I do as a person.
There's a patch for that, don't worry.
Upgrade the software, Lula.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But yes, I'll return Lula to the ground once we've kind of followed this and determined that it's circling. Do we see anything else fun and interesting there while we're up there? The invading army coming over the mountain.
The giant dragon.
The giant dragon over the other mountains.
You catch a glimpse of the phoenix nest far, far away.
Mhm.
Volcano, huge eruption.
Actually, make a
Bennu.
perception check.
19.
Oh shit.
Uh, 16.
The two of you do not see anything out of the
Damn.
ordinary.
I needed
At least
that
not
ability.
anything that catches your eye. But yeah, you land and what, polymorph is an hour or something?
Yeah, it's an hour.
Yeah, so for an
Hopefully
hour, you're
after-
a big old bird.
I can drop concentration
Yeah.
at any point, but this is the first time I would have changed into something that has blood and a
Not
heartbeat.
mechanical.
Yeah,
Blood and feathers and everything.
and
were my
everything.
exact
So I'm probably
words.
just this is interesting. Like I'm picking at my feathers,
I
lifting
mean,
my
Helia
feet.
definitely does not resist reaching up to scratch the soft bird feathers.
I'm also
right
large
here.
size, so you have a huge bird with you right now.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Hopefully once
Really-
they land, Lula explains, no, the spell will wear off. You don't have to shoot them.
them.
Arr!
Like I see
Oh,
Zill's
oh,
got the
alright.
gun. Yeah, like what were you doing?
I thought that's how you ended the spell.
Nope, not how you end. That's how you. Nope. No,
Okay.
please don't shoot them.
I read it once. Somebody told me about it, I think. I swear.
I mean, after a certain amount of, injury, but
All
it'll
right.
wear
I mean,
off.
At this point, we are creeping up on lunchtime.
Yeah.
So what is the plan?
I will go talk to Elza.
Okay.
And we will go. Someone should go to what's her name's house.
If you guys want to
Okay.
go to Saoire's house, I can go to Elza.
And then meet up there.
Yeah.
Because that's really the last thing we have before we decide if we're going
Mm-hmm.
or.
Okay. On the way to Saoire's house, Sam, you split off temporarily.
Yeah.
And fortunately for you, you catch Elza in the shop by herself. And you just lay it out.
Yep.
Hey, we're leaving. We're headed to. I actually gave the mountains an actual name. What was that name?
Spice Mountain.
Spice Mountain.
You're headed to the Obsidian Peaks.
That's less exciting, but also exciting.
Well, Spice Mountain is among the Obsidian Peaks.
Okay.
But you let Elsa know that you're headed on a new job. You're headed for Spice Mountain in the Obsidian Peaks, and that she is welcome to join. And she says, "I'll meet you at the southern gate.
Okay.
I just have to, you know."
Yeah.
And she kind of like points with her head towards the back door.
Um, we would be leaving tomorrow morning.
You would, if you guys want to
Tonight?
make a good time,
Yeah.
you guys have to leave today.
Okay, so we have to leave in the next couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys
I
want to
reiterate
be,
that
yeah.
like before sundown, we'll be at the gate. We've decided that, yeah. Like we've already all but.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah.
By sundown, we'll be at the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then the four of you continue on to Saoirse's alleged home. You guys get like a block away before out from an alley you see a gray cloaked figure kind of like gets your attention and like does a hey you guys, does one of these.
We will follow, dropping a stealth.
Yeah.
The once you guys are in the alley, the figure removes their hood, and it is a half elf man, short, like scraggy beard, and says, "Hey, what are you guys doing here? We've got the house already under surveillance."
Krimrak gave us the address to see if we could find anything from inside.
Yeah, I guess none of us have been inside yet. Our task was just to sit on the place and see if Saoirse came back.
Our
Best of
task
luck
is
if,
to actively look for her
well,
and bring her back, preferably alive.
well, that was the job given to you. I have my own, so you are more than welcome to go in there. I will not stop you, but
Any movement on the place today?
none.
I got some intel that she's been kind of all over town. Southern portion, gates of Korsava Brew.
Yeah, we've heard some of those same reports. Between you and me, there's just too many. I doubt any of them are accurate.
My thinking as well. I'm hoping she will slip up at some point.
Well, let's just hope you going in there doesn't tip her off.
Oh. And I kind of hope it does. Give a signal
Well,
if you see something coming up on us, will you?
will do. And he kind of just flips his hood back up. Retreats further down the alleyway, and then parkours his way up to a rooftop.
I
Once
will
he's
first check the door
gone.
for traps once we get up to it.
Yeah, I'm saying like once he walks away, like I'll ask, like, do you? If we don't want to tip her off that we've been here, you could probably get in and out without us, without being noticed. Is that the better course of action?
I can make you extra
Might be a good idea.
agile.
If you guys want to keep an eye out here, just an extra eye.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
Before you leave, I'll cast Enhance Ability on you.
Ooh.
And I'll do the Cat's Grace, so you'll have advantage on Dex checks, which I think
Sure.
includes your Thieves' Tools, right? And your Sleight of Hand and such. It's all Dex.
I believe so. Yeah, that's all Dex. Stealth,
Okay.
sleight of hand,
Okay.
acrobatics. I will stealth first of all.
Okay. Go ahead and stealth and then investigation to check for traps on the door.
That is a 25 stealth.
Okay.
Investigation is 16.
Okay. You do not see any. You do not perceive any traps on the door. Um, I are you just going like for the front door, or were you looking around for like a back or a side door?
I'm going to examine the front door first. However, out of an abundance of caution, she would also look for another way in that may not be super noticeable to see if there's any fresh tracks or anything like that, especially if she's got a way to slip in and out without being seen.
Okay. You go to the front door. You get a 16 on your investigation. You notice no traps. And as you turn to like case the rest of the building, we are going to stop there for the evening,
Yay.
and we will pick up on this next week. Next week?
Yeah.
Uh,
Not next week. No,
Are we up again next
not.
week?
we have house guests, so
That's
Yeah.
for
right.
the next 2 Wednesdays.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so we are actually going to take the next 2 weeks off.
Sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
Yeah, this time it's our fault.
Sometimes we got shit to do.
So we will be back on April 10th. And then isn't that following weekend tabletop appreciation weekend?
Yes.
So we'll have
Mhm.
extra D&D to make up for it, or
Yeah,
extra
well-
gaming to make up for it that
Yeah.
weekend, because we're going to do at least one session. I would like to do multiple, like maybe Fridays and Saturday. We're going to probably do some Daggerheart test play, if I can get my ass in gear and figure out how to run it. And then maybe something particular for like that Friday or something, just to do
Yeah.
something fun and different.
We've got Humblewood now, too.
Yep, because we do Humblewood.
Yeah, we could do some Humblewood. You know what, Court? You should run some Humblewood on
I was
Friday
thinking
or
about it.
Saturday.
I will see if I can get something put together.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
All right.
Yeah, some
Sounds
Daggerheart.
good. Well, yeah. Thanks everybody for playing.
Thanks for running.
Yeah, thanks for running.
Anybody who was
Yeah.
watching, thanks for watching, and we will
Mm.
see you in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay,
Good night, Internet.
bye.
Bye.